So what's going on at tight end right now? I think Levi Draper, Dominic Johnson over there. What's the story there?
Well, we obviously need some more bodies there. We need some guys that can help us. We moved Draper over there, and so y'all know his shoulder went out, and he has, with my blessing, basically I talked to him about it, and he's medical redshirted, so he's done. With my blessing, I actually called him in to talk to him about it because he's already had 3 surgeries in his career, 2 last year, heard it again the day we moved him to tight end. And so at that point, Trey, we moved Dominique over there, and he was more than happy to do it. On the depth chart, he's not, in the top 3 or 4 guys, and we thought he could help us at tight end. So we're trying to get that done right now.
What you thought about today out in the hot sun and hitting and all that stuff? What it boiling hot? What it look like?
I tell you what, guys. In my opinion, it was the best practice we've had this camp. The kids, I don't even want to say they fought through the heat because you didn't even notice that they were struggling through it. We got a lot done. We went a lot of red zone, a lot of situations, 3rd down. We went 3rd and 1. We went goal line. We went 2-point play. We did a lot of specifics today, and they did a wonderful job of it. Started out with a pocket pass protection drill where, defense got the offense. We've got to get better at protection. And I'm not just saying, everybody. I'm not saying that we can't protect. We're violating our eyes a little bit, and we're between the backs and the O-line. We've got to get better there. And because we can't cut somebody loose on our quarterback, and we've got to get better at that.
I guess since you wanted Clary to be a guard, how's he handling it? Having to go back to center.
Yeah, obviously Ricky's banged up a little bit, and so it's a blessing as well, to be honest with you, because Ty's having the opportunity. Obviously, he's played it in the past. He's doing a nice job of it, but that's a position there where, if you went from right guard to left guard, probably a lot easier than going from right guard to center, even though he's done it before, the snapping and the calls and all those things. But I think he's improving each day, and I think he is our 2 center right now.
What kind of camp has Oglesby had, and just what do you think about him as a 2-sport guy? What are you looking for out of him?
I thought he's getting better. I think he's getting better. He's a willing blocker in pass protection. He's 10-3. And the thing with him is we wanted to see 10-3 on the football field. I think we're starting to see that a little bit more as he's getting more comfortable. So he's in that battle. Who are we going to play at 2 running back, and he's in that battle. Certainly his name's Rakeem. Rocky Sanders is in that battle, and certainly AJ Green's in that battle as well.
Coach, I know it's just been one practice in pads, but what can you tell us about because you were talking about the number 2, you need to find a number 3 quarterback, number 2. How's that behind KJ? How's it coming along?
Well, Malik he has his abilities, he's very fast and those things. I believe he's throwing the ball a little bit better. That still has to improve, but he's throwing it better. Behind that, it's kind of a toss-up each day. We're doing 1s, 2s, 3s, and then we're doing what we call a combo period. And basically what I told our coaches is kind of your worst nightmare. In other words, that guy, we can't lose that guy, and let's say that we did. And so we're getting a lot of different quarterback looks, moved up a little bit with depth. But, the 3, to be honest with you, I don't know who he is right now. And I'm not saying, a lot of times you say that and you don't have a 3. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we just we've got 5 guys, we've got 3 guys in there battling it out, and they all have done well at times. And so we still have a few, 19 left to figure that out. Really, that's not true. We don't have 19 to figure that out. We probably got more like 14 or 13 to figure that out.
Coach, after seeing AJ now for a week, how do you think he's progressed?
AJ Green, we look good today. He's starting to become a more willing blocker in pass protection. I don't know how much he did of that in high school. If I was a high school coach, I'd turn around and hand it to him, and I'm sure that's what they did. But he is starting, how it is when you first come in and he also ran 10-3 something, 10-4, but you're playing about 10-8, 10-9 because you're thinking all the time. And that's what it was. And I'm going to say in that comparison, he's probably running about 10-7 right now. He's getting towards that 100-meter mark that he set, but not quite there yet.
Two-part thing. You said it was a really good practice. So who looked good? Who KJ looked good? Who intercepted passes?
I think the team looked good. In other words, we ran to the ball. We practiced hard. We stayed up in 3rd and 1. We took care of each other. We came out of it with, might have had an ankle here or there, but nothing too big. The transition was fast. The guys policing their own team about running to the ball and staying and thudding and not going on the ground with thud. Not a lot of mistakes. The ones that we had were the ones I just spoke about. So I was real proud of them. We had some guys that, got knocked down and got back up, and, we haven't always done that. A lot of times we went to the sideline, so we're getting a tougher team, and I'm, I guess, most excited about that.
I was wondering what Saturday scrimmage might look like. Number of plays, how you're going to do things, if you could say.
I'm gonna guess right now that the number of plays will be somewhere of around 50 per unit of 1 and 2, and then the 3s are going to get somewhere around half of that, about 25. We will do all phases of the kicking game. We will not cover every one of them. Punt, we'll cover one of the ones are going to do 3 punts, and we'll cover one of them. Probably have an all-out block, trying to block it as well on one, and then we'll cover down about 15 yards on one. On kickoff return, we'll do a full rep. Now we're not going to tackle the returner. We'll do a full rep, and then the next one will be take the line. Things of that nature. So it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be hot out there, but we'll end up somewhere around 125 plays total. But no, that's not true. Not counting special teams.
What have your early impressions been of the 3 transfer D linemen, Ridgeway, Trey Williams, and
They're going to
Markel?
help us. I mean, they're good kids. They work hard. They're talented. It was kind of easy when they got in the portal to recruit them because 2 of them had been playing SEC football, and the other one had played Division 1 AA football, and had played it at a high level. And all 3 of them are in our 2 deep somewhere. Maybe some days are starting, some days are in 2 deep, but all 3 of them are going to help us, I believe, and help us a lot.
Coach, have you awarded any scholarships to any walk-ons?
I have not right now. I have some, certainly thinking about that and things. I will probably wait another week or 2. The thing about that is you want to make sure that as if I had it my way, I'd give them all a scholarship. But you want to make sure when you do that you're giving it to whomever is helping the team on the field the most. Now they're all helping the team, but whomever's helping the team on the field the most, and you want to make that happen. And I don't know that I'll really know that for another couple of weeks. And if I do give somebody a scholarship, it'll retro back to where whatever they paid, they'll get back, and then they'll get their scholarship.
Sam, I noticed Devin Bush running with the twos today. What kind of camp have
Who was that?
Devin Bush?
Yeah,
What kind of camp has he had so far?
really good. You know, he's been in the threes most of camp. You know, we had a depth chart, how we're going to play the players on Saturday meeting yesterday. Obviously, we didn't practice, and his name came up a lot. And so I'm going, well, if it comes up that much, why don't we just put him with the twos and see how he is against possibly a little bit better competition? And that's what happened.
Just regarding Saturday, kind of what are you looking for? And also what effects on the depth chart? I mean, is this going to be a big factor on, you know, who lines up where next week?
Well, the depth chart, I believe in the first scrimmage, you go play your people. You know, you go play your best people and in the first scrimmage, and then your second scrimmage, you may or may not, depending on if you have a guy that you just can't afford to lose. But the bottom line is, we can't afford to lose any of them, you know. And so, and your first part of the question was. Yeah, I want, obviously we haven't tackled, so we want to see how well we tackle. We're finding out a little bit more about our pass rush abilities. You guys have been out there on some of those, and so we're finding a little bit more about that. I want to see if we can protect the quarterback. I want to see if we can run the ball. And I want to see if we can stop the ball carrier. But, you know, there's a special teams part of it as well. You know, right now we feel like Cam Little's really kicking the ball well. And then we have to find our punter, you know, who that would be and returner. But I think this will be a big deal for us Saturday on how we go in, you know, how we have it depth chart in special teams and how it comes out, I think will be really a telltale sign of where guys are.
Coach, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the special teams job. I also had a question real quick about Aaron Outley. I haven't seen him out there.
You haven't because he hadn't been out there. Aaron, he's just not ready yet. You know, he had a good summer. Trey got in better shape, came in a little heavy, you know, and he got in better shape. But we as a staff, as a medical staff, don't think that he's healthy enough right now to go out there and possibly not get hurt, you know, not get out of his own way right now. We're progressing with that a little bit, but he's not ready yet.
And on special teams, have you gotten anywhere with paring down the return jobs at all? Is this scrimmage going to be a big part? And
Well,
how do you decide that? Because you guys, I mean, it's not like you go live a whole lot on special
you know, we
teams, so-
talked about it. We did. We talked about, well, find out who can make people miss by having people go down there and try to tackle him. And that conversation didn't really last that long. We're going, no, we can't afford to do that. We're going to do some things that whiz guys by them and things of that nature and let them get a feel of people, you know, around them and things of that nature. But as far as going down there and live tackling him, whether I'm right, wrong, I don't know, but I'm just afraid to do it right now. We are catching the ball well with the top three guys back there. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's Brooks. Brooks done a really good job with that. And Stevens is doing a good job with that. And then Peroti's doing a good job with that, those three guys. And we looked at Slusher a little bit lately, and he's doing a good job too.
You mentioned Cam Little, has he won the kicking job? I know you don't recruit a kicker and give him a scholarship not to use him, but has he won the job?
No, he's kicking it really well. And I don't know what you call winning. I mean, he's been with the ones every time we go out there. So I'd say he's doing pretty good, you know.
That's Greg Brooks, right, by the way? Greg?
Yeah, Greg.
Okay. You know, 15 years ago, we wouldn't be up here talking about not tackling on special
I
teams.
know.
And there was two-a-days, and in the last 12 or 15 years, football's lost two-a-days, and the structure of when you tackle, when you wear full pads really changed. Do you think it's for the better? Is football a better product? It's a healthier product, safer for
It's
that
a
now?
much safer product. you know, we've been concussion free through these first six days. You know, we've had injuries. That's part of it. You guys been at practice. You know, you're gonna get beat up a little bit because you got pads on. I think everything that they've done NCAA wise is positive towards that. Everybody's going towards the same rules. And if it helps for the safety of the kids, we're all for it. But it has changed. You know, the thing about us is we're trying to get our value out of the walkthroughs and our meetings. And we're very, very fortunate here that our school that starts a little later. You know, at Georgia, when I was there, we probably had 6, 7, somewhere in that range of practices like we just had, where you can have a walk, where you can have a meeting, you can have a walk. In the afternoon, you can practice. In the evening, now you can come back and meet, and you can come back in special teams and unit meetings. It's a full day now. I mean, breakfast is at 6:30 and they're out at 8:45. So I mean, you know, obviously they have breaks in there and things of that nature, but it's a long day. And so we're taking full advantage of the walks. Those have been very advantageous for us. And certainly last year we got so much done because, you know, we were installing our offense and defense and special teams that we're all for that, because we really think we could teach the kids how to play the game and not bang them up until obviously you go to practice.
Coach, this is the first week down of practice in the fall since really, I know it's a small sample size from what you had in the spring, but have you seen a big leap or some area this team has taken from spring ball to the first week of fall?
You know, I'm probably the most positive guy in the world, you know, and so I'm looking to see positive things, you know. But yes, I think our team, we have a better team than we did in the spring. It's part of that's from the additions that we had come in. A part of it's because they're in better shape, they're bigger, they're stronger. But certainly, yes. I mean, we're excited about where our team's progressed, and thing about these guys, they work now. They're not afraid to work. And anytime you have big people and fast people and smart guys and guys that love the university and they go out and they work, you're going to get better. And that's kind of what we've seen. The guys aren't afraid of work, and we've been very pleased with that.
Recruiting question for you, if you don't mind. I know you brought in some transfers that you said could count forward to the
Yeah.
22 class. Do you know how many guys you're going to be able to sign in 22? Is it going to be a full 25, or just some
No,
of us
it
have to count
can't be
hand?
because of the three guys. We basically, the answer to your question is, you know, if you were able to sign 25, which that's still up in the air because you don't know about portal transfer, you know, all that stuff. But if you were able to sign 25, right now we're able to sign 22. If we decided to give a first year guy, in other words, if we decided to give a scholarship to a Warren Thompson or something like that, well, then that would take that 22 to 21. So right now, we're working on, maybe we have 3 available, we might have 4, but we probably only have about 3 left, assuming that the guys that say they're coming are going to come.
Coach, are we missing anybody with the freshmen, like in terms of somebody might be surgeon, maybe, I don't know, one of the D-backs or DBs or something?
You know, I
like that?
really like Keywan Parker. I like him. He's doing a good job. I've been impressed with the 3, actually 4 offensive linemen, including Street, you know, the walk-on. I've liked those guys. They've done a nice job. Of course, Outley's hurt. Landon Rogers, we haven't talked about. He's probably, I tell you what, he can throw the football now. He's a big athlete. But learning the playbook, those other guys are ahead of him because they were here, you know, and but he's very, very talented. And you go on defense, I think I've spoke of Solomon Wright and Campbell. I'm liking those guys. And I don't know really, I hate to miss somebody. Oh, the wide receivers. That's a good group, you know, with 14, 2, and 13. Those guys are good players and they're going to help us. I think at least two of the three or all three of them will help us this year.
Hey, Sam, with Jalen Williams, I know he had some back spasms or disc or something that hurt him in the spring. And I know those portal guys you brought in maybe pushed him down. How's he doing? I see him out there. I know he's working. How's he doing?
You know, Bob, he's healthy. I have not seen him move yet, like the tape we recruited him off of. And if you ask him, he would say the same thing. So I have to think that there's still some type of back issue, you know. Now he says there's not, and the medical people say there's not, so there's probably not, but he's not quite moving yet. And part of that may be because maybe he hasn't learned everything quite well yet, and he's half a step behind and things, but he's not moving yet like what I think that he can, or what I saw off of his recruiting tape.
You think he can help if he starts doing that?
I think he can. Obviously we recruited him to come in and we thought he could help us and things. I think he can, but right now his quick twitch is, we just got to keep working on that and his ability to run.
The start of the season is just around the corner, and if you're into sports betting, Bet Online is where you should go to win some money today. Whether it's live bets during games or future bets on who you think will win the championship, Bet Online has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. Visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next big game or before the season starts, head on over to Bet Online and start playing today. That's Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts.